Well, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Rosina Starr, and I would like to share with you how to set healthy boundaries to attract healthy people and basically what you want. And it's without sounding one-sided. So that's the title to this video. So what I'm going to share with you today is boundaries. What are boundaries? Well, let's talk about that. They are often behaviors we will and won't tolerate based on core values, morals, and principles and ethics of how we live, probably daily. So some we inherit from childhood, some we develop over time. So let's just say a guy asks you to pick him up from the airport in Milwaukee, and let's say you live in Chicago. You'd only been out with this person once, yet he thinks it's cool to text you a message without even calling, because he texts you a message, but you had already explained to him you would prefer a phone call over a text message, right? So he is not really paying attention to you in that regard and respecting your thoughts or feelings about things, for one. And then he's actually asking you a big favor, which seems unreasonable, to ask somebody to drive all that way just to pick him up at the airport and take him to his house because he doesn't have a car. Why can't he Uber? I mean, there's all these other options, right? So in other words, you have to tell the guy no, and I believe it's unreasonable to ask me that request so early on, or if at all in the future. Because why? That's a boundary. Let's just say, a guy and you have plans for dinner, and he's being vague and he's being indecisive about his answers. Well, you can say, I would like to hear from you by Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon if we're going to go out for dinner Friday at 5. And if he can't hold to that request and respond in the way that you have clearly asked him, that works normally, casually back and forth between two people, because you may not have a guy that has the same boundaries and willing to respect them as you do. Like, you're respectful of his boundaries. It should go both ways. So you can't mold somebody to have boundaries. You can just see if it's a good fit and they follow them, and you'll know if they're faking, because then you'll start to see the inconsistency. Now here, listen to this. So putting timelines on things establishes boundaries, and it gets rid of the trash quicker than you could even believe. So if people don't want to be in your life, they will screw it up on purpose, because it's called a shit test to see what you'll tolerate. And don't play that, because it's on purpose. Most of the time it is. Now there are exceptions, but I mean, don't keep taking back stray cats that claw you in the face and eat the food and leave. It's something that you have to have instilled in you to attract light, to attract what you want in good behavior, and to find the right partner that will respect and cherish you and love you the way we were meant to be loved here on this earth. So another thing is, boundaries are put in place to guard you against anything that will threaten your safety / values, security, money, and peace of mind, which is your loyalty to your character and yourself. So, let's just say a guy wants to store drugs at your house because he's a dealer. Well, I just don't agree with that ethically and morally, and, it's just not me. It's not something that I would do. Not for you, but not for anybody. It's just not who I am, and I'm not going to do that. Another unreasonable request would be, you have the resources to help somebody. Let's say a guy doesn't have a place to live, and hey, let's move into your place. Let's just, not have a talk about it. Let's just see how it goes. I'm sorry. That's just not how I do things. I prefer to meet somebody and go slow and see where things go, and possibly talk about a living arrangement or a marriage before a living arrangement, before I get, to that stage. So, you can cut bad people off very quickly to have very strong, stern boundaries. And don't be afraid to be alone for a long time. I'll probably be alone for a while, but you know what? It's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. And, ladies, let's be honest, living in this quarantine is no different than catering to a toxic man that has you waiting on a hook, waiting on a line. When is he going to come back? The unpredictability. The psychopaths always get the ladies, right? But see, the problem is people don't have a problem finding people. They have a problem keeping them around. And if somebody always has a reason why this is the way it is, or, they're refusing to take responsibility for their own life, they obviously don't have any boundaries, which means they don't feel they have value. So how can they value you as a person? They can't. It's a waste of time. So I guess, like if this guy notices you have resources also, and he's like 2 hours away from you, hey, you can drive and pick me up and take you to your place. No, oh, I got gas money and I'll pay for this or that and take you out. Well, it doesn't matter, son, because I have an expensive car that I need maintenance on, and I don't think you can be affording that. He doesn't have that great of a job, but he's looking to see how thirsty I am. Thirsty check really works for some people also. But see, he's like, well, why not? It's like, why not? I do have the means. I could do that, but that's just not who I am. And that's compromising my beliefs of what I feel is right. So when we start to really not be afraid and run by fear every day to pull ourselves up higher, to shine, we will attract people of light and not darkness. But anyway, this is just a short video to tell you about boundaries. Also, I want to mention about time. Are you late all the time? Do you leave at, noon when you're supposed to be there at noon? Are you late for job interviews? Are you late to pick up your son? Do you make it to your children's events on time to watch them? Do you know what that means to them and how it hurts if you don't? Well, that's very important, because when you're late everywhere you go, you're actually telling somebody without telling them verbally, my time is more important than your time, and it already sets a negative tone from you to the room. It actually brings a darkness with you when you go, or if you're at an important event, such as my mom being at my sister's rehearsal dinner, getting up and leaving early. Wow. Oh, we went to this club and it was the experience of a lifetime, Cozumel in Mexico. You know what else was an experience of a lifetime? Your daughter getting married. And the rehearsal dinner. And she'll never know how that hurt my sister, because my mom's a narcissistic, sociopathic woman. There'll be more videos on that later. Her attitude is boundaries are meant to be pushed, boundaries are meant to be broken, but they're put in place originally just to look normal, just to be accepted. Maybe just to see what she can get away with. But I hope this video helped you all. Be on time. Punctuality is important. Persistency is important. Really, pay attention to what your core values are, and if you're living by them, the universe knows. And I wish you all a blessed day, and take care. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. I'm going to be out here trying to help people, and you can email me with life coaching sessions or questions at rytenow666@yahoo.com. Thanks.